this is Dr. Greg Chapman welcoming everyone today participating in this Australian Business Coaching Club teleclass. Our topic today is how to sell your business for the right price. And today I'm speaking to Zoran Sarabaca, the principal of Exclusive Business Brokers. As a business owner from the age of 17, Zoran truly understands business. Through selling his own business, he learned that it wasn't good enough just to have a good product. You have to be able to believe in the business and know everything about it. It was on this basic foundation that he formed Exclusive in 2004 with the goal of bringing together a good team to bring these principles to the business broking industry. He is a registered business valuer, licensed business agent, and member of the Australian Institute of Business Brokers. Good morning, Zoran. How are you today?
Good morning, Greg. Very well.
Zoran, what are buyers looking for when they are considering buying a business?
Many reasons why people decide to buy the business. It could be to get themselves employment, changing the lifestyle, to be their own boss, to grow their own existing business through acquiring another business. But no matter what the reasons are, one thing that the buyers are always looking for, it's a future sustainable profits. So everything else that comes on top of future sustainable profits is a bonus. So if you want to boil down everything to one thing, it comes down to what profits the business is going to make for the new owner after the old owner leaves the business.
How do you put a price on a business? Is it just multiples of earnings or are there other factors as well?
The best way to explain how to value the business is to look at the value of the business being comprised of two components. First component of the business value or pricing business is profits. Some people call it earnings. In the business broking industry, they're called adjusted profits. So these are the profits that the business generates plus any other owner's benefits like private vehicle that's put through the business or any travel that's put through the business and any other paper expenses like a depreciation, in some case interest. And this part of the pricing of the business is pretty much exact science. The second part is looking at the risk associated with that business, and this part is more of an art than exact science. What impacts the risk associated with the business is how much business relies on the current owner. Is the business driven by the key people in the business, or is it driven by the systems? Are the sales of the business coming from the small number of large clients, in which case loss of one of those clients could represent loss of a good chunk of the income of the business? Are there any barriers to entry that can stop competitions? And the list goes on. So then you look at the adjusted profits, and combination of the adjusted profits and the risk will determine the value of any business.
Zoran, can you explain goodwill and its value?
Goodwill is one of the most misunderstood terms in the business sales. Often people try to separate goodwill, value of the goodwill and value of the assets, but they're very interlinked. For example, you can't value the assets and then value the goodwill and put those two together to actually arrive to the price of the business. You need to price the business, then look at the value of the assets, take the assets away from the price of the business, and what's left, it's a goodwill.
What are the characteristics of businesses that attract the best price?
It would be business that doesn't rely on the high skills of its owner or the key people. For example, 3-head chef restaurant versus a McDonald's. So if you got a really high upmarket restaurant and you got a McDonald's, and both of those businesses create about $300,000 profit for the owner, and you are about to buy, and if you ask yourself which one I would rather buy, and you give yourself an honest answer to their questions, chances are you're going to say McDonald's. Why? Because it's easier to run. It's run by the systems. It's not run by the people. So systemized businesses sell much better than non-systemized businesses. Businesses under management sell much easier than businesses where the owner needs to manage the business. Businesses that the owner needs to work less than 40 hours a week And the businesses that create $200,000 plus profit for the business owners are also very desirable, because you don't only buy yourself a job, but you actually can buy a good business, and $200,000, it puts you in high income earning bracket, which can be life-changing experience.
The advice I give owners is that the best time to think about selling their business is when they start it. What should owners be doing right from day one in order to make their business saleable?
That's really good advice for anybody who's thinking of selling a business, to start thinking of selling a business on the day when they started. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen that often, and my life would be so much easier if they actually followed that advice. But look, you need to build a business that's run by the systems, not by key people or owner skills. You need to work towards a highly systemized business that can be run by anybody and can run sufficiently with owner's absence from it. So systems, and more systems, it's a key to a successful sale of the business.
Many businesses are totally dependent on their owner for them to function. How do you sell a business like that?
Look, every owner can be separated from their business. Sometimes their ego gets away and it's harder to do. And if you're really unable to separate the owner from the business, and the business really depends crucially on the owner and his knowledge, there's only two things you can do. One is to provide a longer handover, and I'm talking here months, in some cases for bigger businesses, years. And the other thing is to dramatically reduce the price in order to entice somebody to take on the risk and challenge of running such a business.
Zoran, if an owner was planning to sell in 12 months, what should they be doing now?
Look, we coined this acronym which we call RUDE formula, which is RUDE. R stands for risk, U stands for uncertainty, D stands for doubts, and E for economic appeal. And you should run this formula over your business. And pretty much you got to look at all the risks in your business and try to minimize them as much as you can. You can't eliminate all the risks from the business, but you can minimize them. So, for example, reliance on key staff. A typical example for that is a good chef in a good restaurant. You need to eliminate the risk by implementing systems, recipes, 2 chefs instead of 1 chef running a business. Uncertainty, that's something that we simply don't know what's going to happen. You've got to eliminate them. Uncertainty cannot be in the business when you're taking it to the market. Good example of that is, let's say, lease in good retail business, lease is about to expire in 6 months. So what you need to do is pretty much to negotiate a new lease before you take the business on the market. Doubts need to be eliminated by providing the evidence that will eliminate those doubts. For example, a good example of doubts is, undeclared income or verbal promises of the order by the large customers. Get a contract for that customer and the doubts eliminated. And you got to work on your economic appeal. Economic appeal of the business pretty much means how many people your business will appeal to. For example, if you've got a plumbing business that has to be run by the plumber, it's much harder to sell than a plumbing business that's under management that can be bought by anybody who can run any business. So if you look at the risk, uncertainties, doubts, and economic appeal and fix those things within your business, you'll achieve much higher price when you take it to the market.
Zoran, some businesses are on the market for extended periods and in many cases never sell for anything other than basic asset value. Why does that happen, and what can sellers do to avoid that situation?
Okay. There are 3 things can produce that outcome. Some businesses have something dramatically wrong with them that creates either risk, uncertainty, or doubts, and pretty much pushes the buyers away. The only way to fix that problem is to pinpoint exactly what the issue is, eliminate it or fix it, and then take a business to the market. Second reason is overpricing, and it happens very often. The whole story goes like this. The owner puts a business on the market, business worth $200,000, he puts it on for $400,000, just so he tries and to leaves the room for negotiation. Now, people that are looking for $200,000 business won't even come to them because it's way out of their reach. People, they're looking for 400, they look at the business, find out it's too small, and don't even offer 200 for two reasons. One, they don't want to buy a $200,000 business. Second reason, they don't want to insult the owner by offering half of what he's asking. So that business then stays on the market for quite some time. 6 months later, the owner starts lowering the price. 12 months later, the price is where it should be. Now the guys that are looking for $200,000 business have been seeing that business on the market for 12 months, and they don't even give it time of the day because they think there's something wrong. Otherwise, it would sell by now. And the third reason is businesses are not prepared in such a manner that the buyer can clearly see all its benefits and assess the risk in order to assess it to a high enough degree in order to make a purchasing decision. So address all the issues, price it right, and prepare the business in clear and transparent manner, and you won't have a destiny of many businesses.
As for anything in business, marketing always seems to come out on top. How do you market a business for sale?
Well, there are two ways you can really, two groups of marketing you can do for the business. One is it's a passive or traditional marketing, which you use daily papers. Web advertising is much more popular now, and you can advertise your business in the industry magazine. The reason why we call this passive is it's like a fishing. You throw the line in the water and wait for fish to bite. Active actually can produce much better results, but it's much harder to do. So active marketing is approaching people in the same in the industry, either the same businesses or similar businesses to yours, directly approaching them and offering your business to them. You do this through fax ads, mail ads, and cold calling people. Combination of those two marketing strategy should generate enough inquiries that you can secure the sale of your business. And remember, you need only one person to buy it.
In some ways, selling a business is like selling a house. Your real estate agent will typically suggest things you can do, like fixing the garden, a coat of paint, to increase the value. What are the top three things you get an owner to do in preparation for the sale of their business?
In some points, sale of the business is same as the selling real estate. But fundamental difference is to sell the house, you don't need a business owner. To sell the business owner is a crucial part in selling a business. And most of the work is done on the business owner rather than on the business. And there's a couple of things that I really recommend everybody to do. One is to decide on your asking price and your minimum acceptable price. And the reason for that is you need a price range because the first offer is always the best. And the reason for that is it takes the buyers 18 months to 2 years to actually buy the business. And during that time, they find the opportunities that they lacked but didn't move fast enough and they lost it. But now they've been on the market for 18 months, 2 years. When they see the good business, they're going to jump on it because they got something to compare with. And if you will, they'll go with their best foot forward in order to secure that business. So if that business falls within your range, you should be ready to act even if it's a first offer. The second decision you do have to make, you have to decide on alternative to selling a business. So what are you going to do if you don't secure the sale of your business? This is important for two things. First, it will help you test your minimum acceptable price. If alternative to selling your business is to drop the price down, well, then your minimum acceptable price is not set right. And second reason for this is it takes away the do or die decision in selling your business, which means it takes away the pressure from you as the business owner that you must sell the business, which will help you still keep focus on the business, and it will help you during the negotiation as well. And the third thing that you have to do is get all documents up to date, ready to present to the buyers, from financials all the way to the contract of the sale. Everything has to be ready day before you put the business on the market.